trio arrived at one of Vacuo's settlements, a quaint little village called Alessa. The people there were shocked to see a little girl in tattered clothes in bad condition, but what shocked them the most was the rider, when they entered the town. The vivid image of a knight on a jackalope was the fleeting image they saw. Many were reminded of the stories of the rusted knight in the Ever After tales written by Louise. Difference is that the knight was pristine white. It was like the rusted knight was finally cleansed of its imperfections. But the view was swift as the knight slowly disappeared into particles of light. The story of the knight spreads throughout Vacuo. It seems like the spirit of the rusted knight persists in this world, or at least he was real. The people helped Fren off and decided to let her recover. They tried to take the sword, but it instantly drops to the ground and sticks itself into the sand. Jaune. Not again. Everyone tried taking the sword, but no one could remove it from its place, so they decided to give up. It might also mean the sword is only welcoming to the girl. Juniper laid right next to it, as she could not follow Fran into the house, but the people spared the majestic jackalope an apple or two. Fran was able to get a good night's sleep, but when she finally wakes up, she panics to find that teacher was gone. The lady of the inn tried to calm her down, but she wouldn't. Not after she finds this teacher or something. She rushed outside to find Jaune and Juniper just laying on the ground waiting for her. Fran picks up Jaune, which surprised all the people around her that a little girl like her could carry such a massive blade like that. Jaune. Had a good night's sleep, Fran? Fran. Teacher? I can hear you in my mind. Jaune. Well, this is better communication rather than letting people see you talk to your sword. Everyone will start to think you're losing it if you did. So, let's talk like this when we're in public. Fran. Okay. She puts him in her back in a makeshift holster while Juniper stood and followed them. As they walked in town trying to blend in, Fran felt hungry. Jaune. I think we should hunt some food. This is Vacuo after all, and the strongest survive in these parts. We're just lucky the people here aren't as heartless in other villages. He remembers the slaver he murdered. Fran nods as she got on Juniper and went into the wilds to hunt some food. Once they finished their hunt, they came back to the village to sell off their produce. Once done, they went to buy something to eat. It was the first time Fran was able to enjoy good food, and that irks Jaune once again. What had this little girl gone through? As they continue on forward, a store owner called to Fran and told her she should change her clothes and offers her wares. Fran tried some outfits until she landed upon a combat attire fitting for a huntress in training. If Jaune could nod his head, he would, as Fran is a whole lot better than he was when he was a kid. But as they go, the trio attracted the attention of someone in the village. Do my eyes deceive me? That weapon has aura. It's intelligent. A living sword. Meanwhile, Fran was once again buying more food for her travels upon Jaune's instructions, and he had her buy cooking utensils for their long journey ahead. As they went, they were followed by an unknown individual. Jaune felt his presence and warned Fran they were being followed. She drew her sword towards the intruder, who simply raised his hands. Sharp senses last, or maybe it's that sword you have there. Fran, who are you? Garaz. The name is Garaz. I'm just a humble blacksmith with a keen eye for weapons. Weapons of a magical nature. Jaune. Does he know? Smith, I know what you're thinking. Does he know? And yes, I'm talking to you there, Mr. Sword. Jaune then performed a read on him, not detecting a hint of malice or ill intent. He spoke normally without telepathy. Jaune, so, you know what I am? Garaz. Only in the old tales. But let's talk somewhere more privately. He took them to a shop where many other adventurers or huntsmen gave them the stink eye. As Garaz was known to give only a select few his finest wares due to many irresponsible huntsmen known for breaking weapons, and now he's doing business with a kid no less. He assures Fran that he is sincere. Juniper stayed outside and simply sat and waited. They made it to the shop, and Jaune was amazed by the craftsmanship of the weapons. Many even looks finer than him. As he once again falls to his greatest flaw, self-deprecation. Jaune, these weapons looks amazing, a whole lot better than me. Fran, what are you talking about, teacher? You are the super duperest sword ever. Jaune, I'm not sure that duperest is even a word. Garaz, you speak so lowly of yourself. Let's put it to the test. He pulls one of the swords down and held it horizontally. Garrus, now hit it. Jaune, are you sure? Garrus, go ahead you pansy. He did so, and cut the finely crafted blade clean in half. Garrus, haha. I knew you were the genuine article for a magical sword. But that's besides the point. Can you tell me your story? Jaune thought about it, but what's the harm in revealing who he was, so he did. He told the story on Ever After and his part in it, excluding Team RWBY's dumb shit involvement. Garrus, my word. The spirit of the rusted knight, trapped inside this sword? It's hard to believe, even if we all read the tales, how you describe the world and the beings in it is more accurate than what derivative of the old books. So, how do you plan on escaping that form? He then projected himself in his knight form again. Jaune, I don't know. I vaguely remember my final moments. It seems like I was put here for a reason, and I think it's her. Fran, me? Jaune, I don't know. It seems like we were put in each other's paths. I may not know why I'm still here, but I think I should spend whatever time I have with you. Fran was getting teary-eyed as he wipes them away. Jaune, it's okay. Fran, I'm here. She just hugs him, and he pats her head. Garrus, that's sweet. He left them to have their moment, but when it was over, Garrus came back with a scabbard for Jaune. Garrus, here, it might be hard carrying you around without a sheath, so try this on for size. Jaune, don't mind if I do. Fran puts her sword in the new scabbard to find it fits perfectly. Garrus, if you pull this piece over here. She did, and the scabbard opens up. Garrus, if in a bind you can simply eject yourself. Jaune, how much would it be? Garrus, normally I would charge you guys for this, but seeing as you are still starting, I would make this a freebie. But next time it's on you. Fran, Jaune, I don't like being handed down things. A knight doesn't live in debts. Garrus, if you feel bad about it, I have a task for you. There is this creature living in the oasis nearby that is notorious for attacking anyone and anything who dares drink from its waters. It would benefit the other creatures if you get rid of it, and I can make more with its materials. Jaune, okay, we'll do it right, Fran? Fran, yup, and I can learn to fight more. Jaune, you sure seem excited. Fran, teacher will teach me more fighting. Garrus, she sure has a one-track mind. Jaune, tell me about it. The two old men just laughs while Fran pouts. Next chapter, a new task. Chapter end.